school, she had to, just like Shaka Khan and Aretha Franklin, the rest of them, she had to sing in, communities that really didn't utilize her skills.
Right. Right.
And then she worked her way up. But yeah, that's how it was.
Musically, you told me that she was into strings, right?
Yeah, she could play it. She could speak 7 languages fluently.
7.
And she could play, I think, 20 some odd instruments.
Wow.
Yeah.
And her main instrument in the Franklin Towers was the piano?
Piano.
And you must have been with her during a lot of shows. Me being an artist, I'm always curious how other artists warm up, like vocally. Does she have...
She's like a Beyonce. When she gets to stage mode, it's very, very serious to her.
Right.
It's like going into a surgery.
Right.
She comes out, she's elegant, and
right.
she knows how to sit, talk, and give you a full show.
Right.
Very good.
What was it like behind stage for Nina? Was it like, did she have vocal warm-ups that she did? Did she have a certain drink that she liked to drink? What was it like, just before she presented herself and her music in front of like all the people that
just like silence.
Oh.
She liked a moment of silence to meditate, and when she strokes the piano, then it just goes from there.
Right. She just became a vessel.
Yeah, but she demands, a lot of times she demands, she doesn't like chatter and all that stuff. I've been to a lot of black and white affairs with her, and she demands silence in the whole room, or she won't perform.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty profound.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is, I wanted to ask is, after the show, what was Nina like?
I can tell you, she was very witty.
Well, she seems like it. She seems like a very feisty spirit.
I can tell you one incident when we went to Universal City Walk. And she had a dog, the bodyguard dog name was Shadow. He went to Beverly Hills School here. And he had a PhD. And we go up the escalators, and she would just pick up, a scarf and whatever, and some rain boots and her galoshes, and we go, and I'll stand my attire and my gloves and whatever. So we're going to see B.B. King because her daughter, Lisa Simone, was playing on the Heat of the Night.
Okay.
So B.B. King had a restaurant in the City Walk.
Right.
Her and B.B. King were very close.
Okay.
So when we come up the escalator, security surrounds us. And they tell her, excuse me, ma'am, but you can't bring that dog up here. And she said, my good fellow, do you know who I am? And he says, no, I don't. She said, I'm Nina Simone, an international star.
Just like that?
Yeah. And this is my bodyguard, and this is my guard dog, and they go everywhere I go. And they said, ma'am, well, you can't bring the dog here. Dogs are not allowed here unless you have a handicap. She said, my good fellow, I do have a handicap. And he said, what is that? She said, I'm black.
That's awesome. What did he say?
There was not much to say. I had to go get B.B. King to come in and get everything straightened out. But there was many episodes to where she was witty.
Right, and as you can, and very eccentric. Like I think a lot of stars these days lack being eccentric. Having their own personality to the point where, it's like they're not trying to be something they're not. They just are who they.
Well, I think what she liked the most was that she had a lot of money, and you can look and judge her in certain situations and not know that.
Right.
And that's when she would take off. That's when she really put you in your place.
Right. Because never judge a book by its cover.
Right. Back to Larry Parker's, like I go to the restroom and I come back and the waitress on the way in, she asked, could she get Nina Simone's autograph? And I'm like, sure, So when I come back from the restroom, the waitress is crying. So I don't know what she thought. So I go out and say, Nina, what did you tell the waitress? She said, I told the bitch to leave me alone, I'm trying to eat. And that's just how
she sounds very real. What sign was she?
I didn't know because, I hadn't worked with I think she was a Virgo, I'm not sure.
Like me! That's awesome! Tell me more!
But she had to explain to me that if we're going out someplace,
right,
and they want her to do an autograph setting, then she shouldn't have to pay for it.
Right.
And that, so she trained me on the two things,
Okay, that's awesome.
She told the owner, and Larry Parker was a very good friend of mine also. She told him, I'm not doing it. I'm not here to do autographs. I'm here to come out and entertain myself.
Right. Right.
And
so if she signed autographs, she made sure that everything was carte blanche.
Well, people will take advantage of your situation. Her not performing here in the United States, she was spoiled over in Europe.
Right.
So her coming back, she would try to create some type of drama to get her name back out there.
Right.
So we had police escorts many a times.
That's awesome. So she knew how to work the press.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah, manipulate them to generate a certain energy so that everyone would know that she was back in the States.
Well, like I said, I was young and I didn't know, but she would train me, and she would tell me what my post or what my position would be. I would have to not speak to anyone.
Right.
Stand behind her.
Right.
Don't take my attention off of her.
Right.
And it was, she told me exactly what certain things that she wanted.
So you also told me that you guys slept in the same bed. Did she tell you?
Yeah.
You're gonna sleep in my bed tonight?
No. Well, when she came back from Geneva, Switzerland, someone had broken into her home.
Okay.
And they took all of her trophies and all of her awards and everything and put them in the pile in her living room. She had 4 maids and 2 Italian butlers there. And she flew back here at 18-hour flight and she was shaking. And that was the first night that we slept together.
Like slept together in the same bed, or slept together like made love?
No, we didn't start becoming intimate until probably I think about 5 or 6 months on into the
sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
So who?
She approached me and it was fun to her.
Oh, really?
It was fun because her daughter brought it to my attention. I had dinner with her daughter once because when Nina would be in Europe, her daughter would come to Franklin's house.
Okay.
So her daughter asked me, was me and her mother sleeping together? And I said, why would you ask me that? And she said, my mother always sleeps with young men.
Really?
So I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea.
How was she in bed?
She was.
I know we didn't rehearse
careful.
that. She's
very careful and very, very grateful.
Oh, really?
Very grateful, yeah.
Was she aggressive or was she passive aggressive or was she passive?
She was experienced and
she was
appreciative.
That's
So I guess me being nervous about the situation, she made it painless for me.
Really? All right, and well, I can stay on that subject for the rest of the day, but we're moving quickly. And so, tell me about what was the most profound piece of wisdom that Nina left with you?
Well, often we would go out into the city of Hollywood and just circle the blocks. And she used to love punk rockers. She used to just be astonished with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she would just stare at them and laugh. And then she would take me to, empty lots, and then she would read, she would say, Mr. Billingsley, what would you put on this empty lot? And I was like, I don't know, maybe a shelter, because I see a lot of homeless people.
Right.
And she was excited about that. And then that's how I ended up in doing what I do now.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you say that she helped facilitate or help inspire the thought of you being a giver? Or, helping on the planet?
She wanted me to, she tried to push my security company. At one point I had 24 guards.
Right.
So she tried to, I put in a proposal for Franklin Towers. I was making, I think, $5,000 an hour if I got that position.
Really?
Yeah, so she always motivated me and tried to push me to do whatever I could do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she was very motivated.
It kind of sounds like she was a lot like a mom
And
spirit.
I could use her name anytime I need.
Oh, she allowed for you to drop her name?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, she will support that.
She
wouldn't give me much, but she would let me use her name.
Really?
And she would give me a good reference and referrals. Yes.
Well, sometimes that's all you need.
I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, a good reference, you know.
The more that I learned about her, the more I wanted to be around her.
Right.
And then I forgot my dreams.
Right,
yeah.
right. Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It happens, like, a lot. Mm-hmm. So tell me, like, towards the end, how did it start to, like, fizzle and fade?
Well, her accountant, can't remember his name, she announced her engagement at Yom Shiro's.
Your engagement?
Yeah.
Because you guys had become engaged.
We were going to be married.
You failed to mention that part. Okay. You were going to be married in Africa?
Right.
Like, okay, tell me.
She didn't want to marry me in the United States. She wanted to marry me in Africa. Because I wouldn't have any control over her assets.
Okay.
It's the law over there. So
right.
She announced that evening to her entourage, which is the makeup team, the
right.
Accountant, the butler, whoever, you know, everybody was there. And that later on that evening, when we went back to her condo, the accountant spent the night that night. And then the next day, he had been researching me, and I had been researching him. So I come to find out that he was the accountant for Carpeteria, because the owner of the building, Mr. Agnews, he knew, you know, when I did the proposal for the company, we were very, very good friends. So I knew anyone was coming in and out of Nina's condo.
Right.
So he gave me this guy's number, but he moved Nina to New York after the announcement.
So what was the beef between you two?
I had no idea. He didn't want Nina to marry me. I knew that.
Why?
He never told me. I called him at Carpeteria and I said, why did you move Nina she doesn't want to be with you anymore? And it was just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So I just really didn't follow up with her. And then she, you know, I would see her on Good Morning America, or I might see her, you know, on television doing certain things and whatever not. And then recently, because Mary J. Blige is doing her
biography.
Movie. Yeah, biography.
Right.